I met a Gypsy.
Have you got any bike builds in the works at the moment that you're working on?
You know, we've always got some cool bike builds going on. Right now, we've currently got a couple 90s YZ125s that we're working on. We got a 89 KX125, RM252 stroke. A little bit of it all, man. We're enjoying, like, you know, that 90s era is so much fun. And I got a KTM 380 the other day. I've had a bunch of people telling me that, like, those 382 strokes are you know, glorious. They're like a mix between a 500 and a 300. So I'm really excited to try that. But sad part about that is, like, I got that thing. I had my buddy pick it up. The guy who previously owned it said that the Kickstarter turn spring was broken and that he, you know, just bump started it to ride it. And I was like, okay. And so I get it home and I push it down the hill and I go to bump start it. And that spring came off or something, one of the gears caught in the motors, and it caught the gear and broke the cases, broke the kickstart shaft, broke everything. Like, before I even rode it, all the oil on the ground, and I was like, man, dude. And so I got looking online, and I was like, yeah, there's got to be some parts for them. There are none of those kickstart shafts anywhere for those things. And I made an Instagram video. I'm just like, you know, I was like, hey, anybody got one of these? And everybody's like, oh yeah, you know, this shop's got one. And they've all got it listed and they're like, no, we don't got those things. So still on the hunt for that. And that's kind of, you know, the tricky part with some of these older bikes, but that's what makes it fun too, is hunting this stuff down. And, you know, it's tricky, just like CR 480 shift forks we had to get out of Europe and all that stuff. But that's what's kind of cool with social media too, is like you can put the word out and everybody's kind of hunting around. And it's cool stuff in the works.
Well, I need a 1998 CR250 power valve setup, so if anyone out there, because I got the head all like water blasted and stuff, and then the guy lost all the parts for the power valve, all the spring and shit. Yep, so I'm bummed on that. So how many bikes would you say you own at this point?
You know, so, you know, a lot of people see me ripping all sorts of different bikes and everything. Like, some of them are my buddies, some of them are, you know, BBR developed bikes, some of them are Dirt Bike Magazine bikes, and then, you know, some of them are just, you know, bikes that people drop off, that they're just done with. Like, wild. The way we've gotten a lot of these bikes is, like, I'll put the word out, like, you know, we're looking for this bike or parts for this bike. And if it's like any sort of two-stroke mini, everybody still has all their parts from growing up and stuff, and like bikes blown up and stuff that they were literally going to take to the dump. You know, we'll take that stuff and we'll piece a bike together out of it and everything. Like, I got this, I love this 2002 CR125, right? And I got this thing for $200 from this kid. And the swing arm was like crushed in, and then he blew it up and he dropped the motor as he took it out and broke the case. Got the swing arm fixed. My dad welded up the motor. Ride that bike every day. And we just look for, you know, deals like that where guys have, you know, something they feel like is too wrecked for anybody else to take. We'll take it. And we've come up with quite a lot of bikes over the years there.
Yeah, dude. I love the whole bike build thing so much these days. Like, especially, I feel like it's the older I get too, the more that I appreciate it. And especially, like, we're about to enter the electric era. You know, have you rode a Stark yet?
I have not.
Bro, it's about to blow your brain out of your head. Like, when you ride one of those things for the first time, you're gonna shit yourself. And we're about to enter that era, you know, where it's like the concept of like changing oil and doing valve shims and, you know, like gearbox, all that is, we're gonna like start to lose a lot of that. And I think that the nostalgia that we're all gonna feel for like work, I think that there's gonna be a big industry coming in people kind of like wanting to get their hands dirty again, you know, like right now it's like almost a chore where I don't change my oil enough as I should. I don't do bike, like my throttle cable's kind of sticking a bit. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Like I'm just going to go ride. But
just going with it.
Yeah, but I think that over the next, like the next kind of 10 years, I think what the industry of fixing bikes will be is like people doing like what you're doing, getting an old bike, taking it, doing a full rebuild, doing all the work themselves, because it's like they're probably going to have an electric bike that they're going to spend most of their time riding. So like they're just going to be able to have this thing in the shed in a million pieces and take however long to kind of put it back together. But dude, I mean, that's some of the most enjoyable things I do is like piecing a bike together from start and seeing it come up and having it work good and having the colors come together just right and all the parts that you wanted to have on. I mean, it's such like a dope part of the sport, and I think that's one of the things I really enjoy with you is like how much effort you put into that stuff.
Yeah, we love it. Like me, my dad, my fiance Claire, we're out in the shop every night, like piecing these things together, and we have a blast. Like finding the stuff and finding weird bikes that people think suck and like are actually pretty good, and we have a blast just getting dirty, getting this stuff together, and it's like you said with the electric stuff, it's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be more like, if you want to dial in the bike, it's all electronic, and you're almost gonna have to be like a full-on computer specialist to mod those things out and make them run good, instead of, you're not going to be out there porting a cylinder. You're going to be mapping that thing for whatever power,
Are you excited for the electric thing, or do you already think that you were born in the wrong time period?
Like we were saying, late 80s, that's when I think the best time was, but I could see the beneficial part of the electric bikes for the industry as far as like, there can be more tracks, places, and, pretty much just more areas where there's noise restrictions, all that. I know that's really hard in some of the European parts and all that. And, once they get the batteries a little bit better, I know that they're still struggling on, time for some of those, but, as far as the only thing that like really worries me about the electric stuff is the racing part. Like I know that they're going to find a way to make that exciting at some point, when electric is dominant or if it becomes dominant. But, I just don't feel like it's going to be the same. But, maybe it's a different type of racing or, different type of category for all of that. 'Cause I don't see the love of everybody's, real engine power going away.
Yeah, and to be honest, like as much as I love those bikes, I do feel the same thing, like there is part of what's special about Anaheim Stadium is the fucking sound of all those bikes just revved on the start line and going into the first corner. But it's funny though, and this might sound lame as hell, but now when I ride a normal bike, I'm like, dude, this shit's so noisy. Like this is a lot. Like when you go from you do a 30-minute moto on the Stark and it's like pretty peaceful, like you can hear your tires moving, you can hear your suspension moving, you can there's so many other things that enter the picture that are just completely drowned out by noise and vibration. And so as lame as it sounds, like there is a big part of me where it's like it's a much more nicer experience to ride one of those bikes. But yeah, when you line 40 of those up, I just don't know. I don't know if the impact is the same in a stadium or at a national when there's just no sound associated with it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the cool part about electric eventually here is, if somebody wants the bike to feel slower or faster, it's going to be easy for them. Like for the general guy to go get a bike, they're going to hop on that thing and it's going to be a lot easier than they hop on a 450, 450 is a 450. That's
and it ain't
what
changing.
they're doing. Yeah, it ain't
Yeah.
changing. So for stuff like that, I could definitely see it. And but yeah, for the racing, I want it to be mean,
Yeah,
I
you
want
to
that
be
power and
smelling
sound.
race gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The adrenaline right there,
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.